Hey, good morning everyone. My name is John and I am one of the members of the Group 2, and my assigned topic for today is the classification and causes of speech and language disorder. So speech and language disorders in children interfere with other aspects of development and daily life. Different professions are usually involved in the diagnosis and management of these disorders. One of the examples of personnel who are qualified to handle or teach these students are the special education teachers. Speech and language disorders have always been considered as symptoms of neurological and psychiatric syndromes. Some cause of speech and language disorders include hearing loss, neurological disorders, brain injury, intellectual disabilities, drug abuse, physical impairments such as cleft lip palate, and vocal abuse or misuse. The various topics related to speech and language disorders will be focused more on the neurological aspect of the child development, so we will not tackle the speech and language disorders caused by accidents or any other causes not related to the child's mental disability. Basis for classification, we have four. First is the specific developmental disorders. Second is pervasive developmental disorders. Third is disintegrative psychosis, or others call it Haller syndrome. And the fourth and final one is the elective mutism. So what is the ICD-10? Since we will be basing most of our topic on the ICD-10, let us define what it is. ICD-10 code stands for the International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems Revision 10. It is an international classification designed to enable consistency of coding throughout the world. It has been evolving for more than 100 years as a systematic coding system. The ICD-10 CM codes were developed and are maintained by CDC's National Center for Health Statistics under the authorization by the WHO or the World Health Organization. So the picture below shows the sample of the data I gathered from the ICD-10 website. Right. Next is the specific developmental disorders. Skills are substantially below the expected level in terms of chronological age, measured intelligence, and age-appropriate education, and cannot be explained by any various neurological disorder or any specific adverse psychological or family circumstances. So delays in developmental domains such as language and speech development, and the code which the specific developmental disorder is under is the code F82. Also defines the specific developmental disorder causing neuromuscular disorders, which means that the SDD or the specific developmental disorder can cause dysarthria. Dysarthria is affecting the child's ability to speak. Dysarthria can also cause dysphagia or the difficulty in swallowing. Next, the pervasive developmental disorder. This refers to a group of disorders characterized by the delays in the development of socialization and communication skills. The pervasive developmental disorder or PDD's effects on the child may be observed as early as the infancy period. Symptoms may include problems with using and understanding language, difficulty relating to people, objects, and events, unusual play with the toys and other objects, difficulty with changes in routine or familiar surroundings, and repetitive body movements or behavior patterns. So the autism. Autism is one of the disorders under the classification of PDD. PDD is the pervasive developmental disorder. Right. This is the most well-studied disorder among other disorders. Autism is also characterized by impaired social interaction and communication skills, and a limited range of activities and interests. Children with PDD vary widely in abilities, intelligence, and behaviors. Some children do not speak at all, others speak in limited phrases or conversations, and some have relatively normal language development. Repetitive play skills and limited social skills are generally evident. Unusual responses to sensory information such as loud noises and lights are also common. Disintegrative psychosis, or Heller syndrome. The ICD-10 codes the disintegrative psychosis or Heller syndrome as the code F84.3, which defines the other names synonymous to this to the disintegrative psychosis, which are residual disintegrative psychosis, Asperger's syndrome, autistic disorder, Rett syndrome, dementia infantilis, childhood disintegrative disorder, and Haller syndrome. So what are the effects? Speech loss or deterioration, social impairment, stereotypes, and resistance to change, overactivity, affective symptoms and anxiety, and deterioration in self-help skills. Haller syndrome or childhood disintegrative disorder is a rare disorder, therefore it is not well studied. This disorder causes regression of previously acquired skills on social, language, and motor functioning. The cause is unknown, and affected children have often achieved normal developmental milestones before the regression of skills. The age of onset is variable, but is typically seen after 3 years of reaching normal milestones. The regression can be very rapid. Some children may appear to be responding to hallucinations, but most common and distinct feature is the regression of previously attained skills. Individuals with CDD typically manifest speech loss or deterioration, social impairment, stereotypes, and resistance to change, overactivity, affective symptoms and anxiety, and deterioration in self-help skills. So for our last topic, the elective mutism. Elective mutism is under the code 94.0 of the ICD-10, which identifies the elective mutism as synonymous to selective mutism. One of the causes of selective mutism is separation anxiety in children. A child with selective mutism will often have other fears and social anxieties, and they may also have additional speech and language difficulties. They're often wary of doing anything that draws attention to them because they think that by doing so, people will expect them to talk. Left untreated, selective mutism can lead to isolation, low self-esteem, and social anxiety disorder. It can continue into adolescence and adulthood if not managed.